they picked up some of these big star players. SCC, one of those 9K MMR gods nowadays. So like obviously that's always a big talking point. The fact you can get 9K MMR shows a certain level of ability just to solo win games, which is what SCC brings to the table. Yeah, I like the addition of Faith. He just has to play support. He's no longer kind of the captain drafter. We've got Kaka, who's kind of talked about by a few of the Chinese players as being the best captain there now. So we'll see if this team can work out. So far, it hasn't been like they haven't come out and amazed me, but that's still very early days. It's going to take some time to gel.
So Secret will open things up with the Iowa hero that they were running a bit heading into TI and at the event, but also a hero that MVP like to run a lot as well. So to go with that, they grab Phantom Assassin. Great hero to deal with physical damage. Can be rather tanky in that matchup, but you are running a PA against a Drow Ranger. Drow won a lot of games at TI Gods. Most teams struggled to deal with her and opted just to ban her. Looking at just the early moments here in the draft, are you worried at all about the Drow pick, or if you're Secret, or do you think they're to handle it?
Drow's always a scary hero because you have to draft against the fact your opponents have Drow Ranger. There's only 3 heroes in the game where it's like they have this hero, you have to have a plan to deal with it. Normally you can just draft your heroes and say, oh, we've got a plan, this is what we're going to do, this style. But as soon as you see the Drow, your style has to counter the Drow or you just straight up lose the game. And that's kind of what PA brings to the table a bit. It's kind of a direct counter pick to the Drow Ranger in some ways. Not to say it's just going to make the Drow useless, but you've got the gap close Phantom Strike, you've got the evasion so you can engage. But not amazing against the Oracle because Oracle does have the disarm and edict.
Yeah, and also just a lot of burst damage against Io, so can potentially blow her up pretty early in the fights. And now the Darkseer getting removed by Newbee, an offlaner that we saw 4F go back to quite a bit. Ion Shell obviously great with the PA for diving the Drow, maybe even putting pressure on her lane early. And well, it is still 6.88, so Huskar will get the ban here. Saw some very unfortunate matches at TI where Huskar was allowed through and a quick and decisive victory team that grabbed him.
Yeah, I think at this point you're just worried not letting them get that next level of cheese coming out. And the thing that stands out most to with Secret's opening 2 picks is this is very MVP style. The first pick Wisp, yeah, Puppey and Pilot, I have done this a lot in the past as well, but the PA pick was like a QO special with the old team MVP. And this is looking much more like a fighting style Team Secret lineup. I mean, even just from the 2 picks we're seeing. So it seems like Puppey is trying to integrate some of that SEA Dota style into this new team's roster.
Well, 4th pick, or 4th ban, I should say, for Newbee now. Opted for the Drow early, and we saw a lot of evolution with the way the Drow Ranger picks were run. I guess over like the last year and a half or so. When we first saw Drow picks, they were considered like a pocket strat, something that was rather easily countered. Then it kind of evolved into this stage where you could pick Drow, and if you had another hero that scaled into the late game, you had the option of not trying to end it early. They're also dire side here, Gods. PA, a hero that we have seen fall off a lot, especially if BKB is on cooldown. You have some good disable, struggles to stay relevant in later game fights at times. But with the axe now removed, Newbee, again trying to get rid of those heroes that want to get up in your face. The Darkseer, the axe, something that we've even seen Puppey play like a 4-position axe at times, go to the jungle. Not sure if that's in the cards for them this game with the IO pick, but interesting ban here now.
Yeah, for Secret to make the PA pick work, they need a hero to enable it, to be initiating and being the kind of frontliner leading in the charge. The 2 heroes that always stand out for me with PA is Slather and Axe. Slather, unfortunately, Secret banned themselves in the first stage, probably not really anticipating having the IOPA necessarily as their opening, but the Axe was kind of the 4F's best hero as well. So without those 2 in the offlane, I have to come up with something a bit different. Io Bristle is the old school MVP strat. It doesn't have the initiating capabilities of an Axe or a Slaughter, but it is very troublesome on the front lines to deal with.
What do you think of the OD ban? This is a hero that wasn't really that popular at TI, saw only a handful of picks, but as of late, kind of in the post-TI era, even though there hasn't been a new patch, there's still been some evolution, and more and more people are talking about OD. We're seeing him a lot more in high-level pub games. Thoughts on the ban?
He's becoming a meta hero once again. Without any, it's funny how Dota goes in these cycles where heroes will go in and out of meta with no balance changes, but it really feels like OD is back in a place where in the Chinese scene and a lot of these qualifiers, he's being first 2 picked. He's been seen as a kind of replacement for the Shadow Demon. Yeah, he's a core. It's a very different hero. He plays as a carry, but the save is just so valuable in Dota nowadays. Having either the biggest things to me when you're like looking at heroes that you see picked a lot is having defensive save or having burst damage, and that's where they deal with the defensive save as a core is really valuable as far as a lot of are concerned.
Casino Magi is now the selection here for Newbee. So they get their lane controller, a beefcake that can trade blows with pretty much anyone. Even Titan Hunter, also not an easy hero to burst for the PA IO, who generally do rely on those quick kills to get some momentum. So with the PA pick gods, we've seen the PA more often than not go mid. I imagine probably a mid one PA. You've got the 4EV offlane Tide Hunter. Is that what you're expecting? And where do you think this IO will go? Is it a roaming IO for Pylai Dai? Is it mostly just helping mid? What are you expecting out of that?
Yeah, I think the lanes you mentioned are probably most accurate here. The IO from Pylai Dai is normally one of those kind of more defensive IOs. It's actually, as much as I compare this draft to an MVP one, the Pylai Dai IO plays in a more kind of sit behind your mid, refill his, like just to keep spamming his lane, refill his bottle when needed, and provide the sustain and also the stacks in the jungle. So probably see a bit more defensive out of the IO. Even more so with the Tide Hunter pick. It's not a bristle. It's a defensive farming offlaner that's focused more on mid-game team fights. So this, to me, suggests a bit more defensive out of the IO and focus on the mid lane rather than the off lane.
Oh, I love this Timbersaw pick. Your 3 picks are now for Secret. You have one form of lockdown and it's extremely long cooldown ultimate. And also, it's a hero that doesn't match all that well against the Timber in the mid game. So Secret, they quickly recognize they need a hero that can control Timber, so they will grab a Storm Spirit. None of these heroes particularly good against at stopping the push head-on gods, aside from maybe the Tide Hunter to kind of be that frontliner and threaten for a Ravage, but despite the looming potential team fight, they decide to play more of a spread the map style offense here with the Storm, and they do this into a Drow Ranger.
And even with the Storm pick, it's still an amazing Timber game. That's just one small lockdown with the Vortex. The Orchid does come online and hurt the Timber a bit, but normally you need the Bloodstone, then the Orchid. And if Timber sees Orchid coming, he's just like, sweet, I'll get a Lotus Orb, I'll purge it off, and then the Orchid doesn't really counter him. So this is looking like a game where if the Drought doesn't win Newbee the game, the Timbersaw will come online and be a huge problem for this Team Secret lineup that lacks a lot of lockdown to deal with Timbersaw.
And so far, it does seem like pretty stable lanes here for Newbee. They've got 2 ranged heroes. They have good lane sustain from the Oracle, a tanky Roamer and the Ogre, a difficult to gank here in the Timber. Really, the only hero you have to protect is the Drow, and they certainly have tools to do it in the form of that Oracle pick. So now the Dazzle banned out. One of Puppey's go-to heroes, Secret. Ever since that Pylai Dai Puppey combo really came together, they have relied more so than most teams on those defensive supports, so Newbee will remove a go-to hero now that the X is already banned out. No real counter for the Grave.
Yeah. So a little surprised the hero that stood out to me was the Keeper of the Light. Like, Keeper of the Light with Storm, amazing. Keeper of the Light with the Mana Leak, great against Timbersaw, but a good Bounty Hunter, so more early game pressure. I'm wondering who's playing what, because both IO and Bounty are normally Pylai Dai heroes. I'm guessing it'll be Puppey on the Bounty, but an interesting last pick to go on the Team Secret side.
Definitely a slight twist here. Still, the IO pick, I think, like you said, it is very MVP-esque. And it feels like there is a little bit of that Southeast Asian flavor for this team, but still some just iconic heroes for a lot of these support players so far. So Newbee, last pick now to go. We'll be looking for another core to pair with the Drow Ranger. Expecting the mid Timber? Is this an offlane Timber gods? Like, what is Newbee looking for here?
I mean, the offlane is actually not too bad for Timber, just because there's no good zoning support for him, so you may consider putting him there, but the mid-Timber is like where you can snowball a bit more. So Mirana's picked up. It's still kind of unclear who's offlane, who's mid, since both these heroes can do both. And it looks like with SCC picking up, it will be a mid-Mirana and KP Timber, though.
Is that the move here? Do we just truncate that last C in the interest of not going crazy
SCC.
trying to say his name?
Yeah.
It
rolls, you know. SCC sounds good, but the third C, no, that's one C too many. LB.
Can I call it 3C? Is that okay?
Yeah.
3C?
C cubed.
Okay. C cubed. Rolls right off the tongue, boys and girls. Here we go. It's Newbee versus Secret. For those wondering, as far as the format goes, this is a GSL group in Group A, 4 teams competing to advance in the upper half here and move on into the main event bracket. The teams that end up in the bottom will not be eliminated, but they do start in the lower bracket. Not a great place to be. The other two teams who are currently doing it out on the other stream, of course, we do have LGD Forever Young, as well as Team MVP Phoenix. So if you want to see the other remnants of the old MVP lineup, head on over to Beyond the Summit 2, where Lumi, as well as Kylo Guy, will bring you all the action. But here, we'll stick with Secret versus Newbee. Get underway now, God's teams off the bat, looking to drop some wards and that early vision.
Yep, pretty standard stuff. TP with the TP down bottom, Bounty with the T towards mid. He's going to get an aggressive ward up near the top lane, it looks like, just to scout out movements between mid and top. And there were pings down bottom, and it looks like at least KP saw Secret, and Secret's going to see KP soon. It's just now going to turn into a game of find the observer ward.
Not really much kill potential here on a Timber, generally speaking, but they do isolate him in perhaps the perfect position. And he's already skilled reactive armor. Perhaps they can kill him off, though. KP already up to 5 stacks here, but it's only a level 1 reactive armor. He's going to get quite low to this. MP will have a dagger suit. He might be able to kill him. The Sal forced out. He still gets the first blood. Oh man, not much of a killing trio, but when you completely collapse on him like that, have the firepower to get the kill.
That's a really good. I mean, taking away the Sal for an offlane Timbersaw really needs that regen, because there's not much kill power in the laning stage. I mean, they're going to kill there, as I say that, but having your regen is the key thing. So you can trade hits, soak up the harass while farming, and then heal up. But losing a Salve really can cripple your laning stage. He was just getting a bit too greedy. He was trying to tuck himself in the trees so he could pull the creep wave, I'm guessing. He was trying to hide himself there, but got spot walking in and could capitalize.
Maybe getting punished here early, maybe not expecting that full 3-man aggression in the bottom lane, and Puppey gonna take this moment to creep in mid. See the Radiant Courier just limping back. Orav straight to the jungle, Gods. Iron Talent already picked up, though there is an observer ward to scout out the ancient stacks, to scout out the big camp near the top lane. Orav actually has another trajectory in mind. He is headed straight to his own woods.
Puppey just trying to see if he can get a courier snipe, but doesn't look like SCC's even interested in bringing out a Sal for now, so unlikely to see this succeed for now, but we'll see how greedy SCC gets with his current movement.
So it's a PA mid. We've seen quite a bit of PA mid when the hero is run, more so than most other melee relatively farming heavy cores, but against Morant, all this magic damage, do you feel like he can stand in the lane on his own, or is this a hero that needs a lot of help to survive the matchup?
PA will be fine. MP's going to have a really fast bottle. I think if anything, SCC will be the one under a bit more pressure as far as the constant stifling dagger harass. You can just spam the dagger whenever it's off cooldown on Miranda herself, and that's what Puppey comes in. The harass on SCC is going to be very annoying and hard to deal with, and that's just going to be increased because getting the courier out to you pre-3 minutes is hard because of the threat of the bounty hunter courier snipe.
Despite the Drow Ranger, PA off to a great start here, even against a ranged hero. So they are going to bring in some reinforcements in the form of Kaka. He mans up on the 2 little melee heroes. Tries to dish out some damage on Puppey, but Puppey, happy to trade blows with the Orb of Venom, does leave U9 on an island here top. Of course, explains the Iron Talon pickup is doesn't really want to be laning against the Drow Ranger as a melee hero and constantly getting right-click harass from distance. Yeah. But it does mean the Drow has complete free farm in the early stages.
It frees up Faith on the support as well. I mean, Ogre, Kaka and Faith both to just pull, stack, and play super greedy on their support so they can help out the mid lane, they can stack the jungle. We already see Faith hitting level 2 and stacking up the big camp now, so the secret response to this is send Puppey up there to make sure they're at least getting some XP out of this lane.
Looks like it is going to be a bold dive here by Mr. Kaka. He's going deep for this courier. It cannot be upgraded for another 45 seconds. Diving the tower, circling around. He may pay for this with his life, but all worth it. Spends his gold, buys the boots. He runs right into Forever. Says, thanks for the gold, buddy, but Pylai die, who will secure it in the end. So a courier kill for a support Ogre's life. Man, that was a deep dive.
Yeah, I saw the crew run past, and I'm thinking in my head, like, oh, he's just a bit unlucky. He's a bit late as the crew went past. And then I'm like, wait, he's actually just going to charge it down the tier 3 tower? That's a 9
KMMR tower dive right there.
Yeah. Like, even if I'm playing support, then I know I can get that courier. I'm probably thinking, like, nah, I don't want to die for this courier. Like, it's not really worth it. Like, giving, like, a kill to, like, an IO or something. But, I mean, the math, the numbers, it does kind of pan out in his favor.
Oh, it's going to be a move on the mid lane attempted by Puppey here, but Kaka and Triple C grouped up together. They are going to start to lay into MP a bit with the Ignite. follow-up yet from the Mirana, but simple harassment for now. Still, PA City at 16 CS. Being pretty close with the Mirana overall. And the Kursk Secret God, they are farming quite well here. Mid 1 bottom, at 16 CS. The Tide Hunter, yeah, he's giving the draw free farm, but he is doing well with the Iron Talon in the jungle, so 2 kills, even giving up a courier death. We do find Secret with a slight lead, and against the Drow Ranger, have to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, it's just KP who's maybe a little lower CS than the rest of the pack, and a lot of that does go back to that early death and losing his salve. Just means he has a bit of a tougher lane. You can see here he's got no HP regen left in his lane, so still getting XP and farm, so it's not by any means a disaster for him. He's still in a position to have a solid mid game.
So now Puppey, tentatively creeping up top, hiding deep in the tree line, soak up that experience, does have a TP ready.
They've got the double wave up. They want to push. Okay, they're going to try scan him with the scan, but they get the double wave with the siege creep. This is a common play you'll see teams do, where you see the siege creep coming, you do a single pull, you stack it up, and then you take your tier 1 tower. Ideally, they want to try find Puppey with the scan, but just getting a tower out of this is still good for Newbee.
And already you do see a point in Bloodlust to enable the push here for Ev. Park to the south of the tower, and Puppey to the north. Do we have any other TP available on Secret? Does look like Pylai could opt to join the fight. He's only level 4 though, so not quite able to relocate in. Little hiccup here from the server, but Newbee lane into the tower. Like it will be dropping with Glyph already committed. The question is, will there be a deny attempt, or do they just give it up for free? The last hit will go in the end to the Drow Ranger, and STV grabbing the Invis rune, creeping on MP, but doesn't have any sort of backup to make a play.
They even had Mirana ready to rotate top should Secret ban that one, so really good coordinated push. SCC was just sniping the big camp by the Secret shop and in position to help out if needed, and then as soon as he realizes they're not defending, goes back mid to continue farming. So this is like the first big push you make as a Drow team, and Newbee haven't really skipped a beat. They've had the good early game as far as the lanes not really collapsing, but it's kind of what you'd expect from a Drow strat. If you don't get that tower the first siege creep, you're playing behind.
Do you feel like Puppey's gotten enough done here, Gods? He's level 3. We saw the early pressure bottom results in a kill. Does help out a bit in the mid lane to give MP an easier time of it, but hasn't found that courier snipe. We don't really see too many aggressive wards here.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the bounty hunter's been a liability, or is he getting the job done?
He went a bit all in trying to snipe the crit, but I think bounty hunter's gone to this place where teams are so used and good at dealing with the hero that you spend your the first 2 minutes of the game just running around hoping to find something.
Arrow there from S3C, but now decides to run away. The Moonlight Shadow committed. Kaka moving in a bit deeper into the river. Thinking about the engagement, as they did have the rotation from the Oracle coming too, but Drow Ranger not there, and perhaps most importantly, KP not in the fight. He is certainly their strongest teamfight presence at this stage.
Yeah. Yeah, back on the bounty, it just feels like a hero that the first 10 minutes of the game isn't that strong anymore because teams are so good at dealing with him, and the nerfs to Shadow Walk, where it's 65 mana, really kind of hurts this hero. He's much more about when he hits level 6, that to me is Bounty Hunter's new peak. He no longer peaks in the first 5 minutes of the game because of the nerf, so, and Puppey's done enough. He's not really expected to do a whole lot apart from be a little bit annoying. Like, he prevented SCC from getting his items out that early because of the threat of the Courier Snipe.
Yeah, to see him just farming out the mid lane for now. Got the Blades of Attack, so Faith's Boots likely en route. Giving Faith a little time here in the top lane. Wants to get us level 6. Puppey moves in, also looking for experience. And for Ev, being rotated top. Still not yet cracking the ultimate, but will now secure his 6. Goes up the Ravage immediately. Arcane Boots just yet, so no real mana regen to work with. Mid 1 just calmly farming the bottom lane. So very passive end to the laning phase here. What do you think moves first?
It's got to be Newbee with the Drow to start pushing some more towers. Drow's level 7, they've got max precision aura. They should be looking to take towers. I say that as Oracle gets dived up top. He was looking for his level 6, so Secret find a pick-off. But as far as moving first to take big objectives, Newbee are the ones much more in position to do so. They've got much more key levels with the Timber level 7 and having the Drow Ranger to push down towers as well. Yeah,
Secret definitely confident about their ability to push, though, with the Ravage ready. They do stay parked in this top lane, but it is a relatively slow siege. Only really the Faith Boots on MP is an additional source of damage on towers here. KP gonna respond by cutting the wave bottom, and Newbee up to smoke. They do not have Moonlight Shadow for 20 seconds. So a good position here. Pylai could break the smoke. The team out safely. Creeping in. Kaka out in front, lumbering up the river. Pylite almost dead to the neutrals, and they start to converge here on 4F. He's out quite far. The long-range Ignite Lob comes in. Now the arrow to follow. A direct connection, a bit laggy here, but it looks like they found him. They've controlled him. He is not going to Ravage. He too will fall, and then MP could well be next. Pops to the Oracle. A double grab, and all the while KP just farming in the bottom lane, clearing out the wave. It ends up being a triple kill as they go even deeper to finish off the IO in the trees. Newbee in firm control here. Still all the while Cape farming, and to go with that, Kaka back to mid lane for him.
It's one of those fights where if you're secret and like if KP came to that fight and like it was like a 5-man rotation, you're like, okay, maybe it wasn't so bad. But when you see KP almost taking a T1 tower while free farming bottom, that's where you're like, oh crap, that was really bad for us. A huge swing going Newbee's way. Big team fight. When they lose the T1 top tower, which is like a fairly important early game objective as far as dire jungle control goes, but realistically, Newbee are going to be the ones keeping the lanes pushed out. They've got the Drow, Mirana, Timbersaw, two good wave clearing heroes, and the Drow with the Aura to push with. So these lanes are going to be pushed regardless. So not too worried about losing singular tower.
Still haven't seen mid one move around too much, but Puppey can take this moment to D-ward, so he clears out that dire vision towards the bottom side of the map. And let's see S3C moving on to 4F, gets off the double starfall, the arrow, a complete whiff though. Rev just sidestepping that one, will make it out safely. Phase boot now complete, point booster up. 3C, and like he will be on a pretty fast clip here for the Aghanims to go with that U9, working on the Dragon Lance. And it looks like we're going to have a moment of pause here, so I will try to reconnect, guys. Not sure if that's actually going to fix the lag, but give it a...
So the big thing now, like we're 10 minutes in, this is where Puppey's got to really get level 6 as soon as possible. I'm good. It feels like it's been so long since we've seen Dota tournaments. Yeah, oh sorry, I'm here. My mic just hit a second. I'm good.
The mics. Are you lagging as well, or is that just on our end?
I think that's just you've got the perfect world lag, I guess.
Got the Calais.
Unfortunate. Normally, yeah, I haven't tried watching any Chinese server games from Australia, but it seems okay so far for this game at least.
You know, when Australia has better internet, America at anything.
Yeah, that's something.
We're in a bad place. But now Kaka moving in. Looks like they want to go here. KP gonna lead things up with the chakram. Drop down, quick observer ward, popping the dust as well. So the chase forward. They do manage to connect on Highlight Die here with the arrow, but the 3 hero ravage comes in together with that mid one falling forward, but he's blown most of the mana. He is gonna continue to pump damage out, I should say, into the Ogre Magi. Moving forward again, the Ogre brought down, now turning on to U9, can finish him off. The Oracle's there to save the day, and now the chakram follow damage before him. Standing strong here in the paint, laying into them, courtesy of that anchor smash, bringing U9 low. But the Gust back, can they finish the job? 4F low, they do end up getting the kill, and it's S3C trying to clean this one up. The Starfall though isn't going to hit Puppey, it will around the trees, now brings him down. MP trying to do the trick here. Can he turn around with an arrow as well as a Starfall combo? He's not got a chance. It goes for the TP out. MP, give me a crit. Not gonna. When the dust settles, they commit the Ravage there, but I believe a 3 for 4 exchange overall got Secret. Very happy with the results of that.
Yeah, when you don't get that initial jump cleanly, like even if you're just using a chakram there and an arrow, it still makes a big difference as Tide Hunter gets off a great Ravage and Secret turn it around. And important that they win that fight because that was the first fight where they bring the Storm in, they had the Bounty Hunter track now online. I don't know if I think they got at least one track kill out of that, but the big thing is like this is where Bounty Hunter gets strong and you can fight your way back into this game whenever you've got Ravage because track money is going to start adding up as you take these fights, even if you're trading evenly. So for Secret, it's just making sure you secure these kills when Newbee come for pushes.
And of course, if you're Newbee, you know Ravage is on cooldown, going to pressure.
Oh, yeah.
So we see 3 in the mid lane, just a Drow Ranger confidently out in front, does have the Dragon Lance for a bit of stay in here, but this is allowing 4F to work on the Ancient stack, and now they will move forward. Storm Spirit jumping in, but it's right into an arrow from S3C, and Pylite I save him. No, he's been gusted. He can't get the relocate off, unfortunately. Controlled by the draw, but the trade is there as they get the carry of Newbee, and now chase for a bit more. Kaka running in the Shuriken, not gonna bounce too much. They do get the multicast, and Puppey goes down to the ding-ding. Now Newbee diving forward, another arrow, having a fish, not gonna connect. A long-range ignite, and KP just going in deep for this one, but he may have gone in too far. The crits are there, the double crit from MP, and then this Oracle can heal up. He may just drop another dagger from distance. It is enough. They pop him. They end up getting the kill. The neutral gets the last hit, though. Yeah. Ay, ay, ay. Now an arrow to turn this. MP does get hit by it, the Starfall. The nukes, fades from distance, bringing down the PA. A bloodbath in the mid lane. Diving onto Cock. Mid one with the pursuit. Finds the kill. Will get sound, but it's too late. Now Fade's trying to TP out. Will he make it through the trees? The ball in. The grab. Mid one slams it home. Newbee currently 3 heroes dead, but mid one out of mana. They want to chase this. Can't quite do it. Oh boy. Whew. 4-3. And Secret with the goal deficit. We'll be happy with that fight. They also take that engagement while Ravage is on cooldown, gods, and barely even come out behind when it comes to raw kills.
Yeah, they're just really recognizing to take the Drow at first. A lot of the right-click damage is taken out. The Mirana, who's gone for this Phase Aquila build as well. I mean, yeah, you're going to the Axe, but you still right-click decent with Drow alive. Not to mention even Oracle. Like, all this bonus damage is taken away when the Drow is dead. The Drow herself does a lot of damage, so they're able to get on top of the Drow. They picked 2 heroes, Storm and PA, who directly counter the Drow. Even that amazing 2-hero Gust from U9, which killed off the Storm initially, wasn't enough for Newbee to win that fight, so doing a great job of just recognizing the threat there and really taking the fight to Newbee. This really feels more like MVP style right now. They're just aggressively brawling, fighting, and doing it without a Ravage.
I would agree to some extent, but this is generally the phase of the game where QO, you die, you pass your 2-3 towers. So,
yeah.
Not full MVP. It's like MVP light, maybe, for now. That could change because F3 is closing in on the Ice Scepter. Gonna be the big power spike here for Newbee. On the side
if
of
Mirana
Secret...
hadn't agged in those sites, like SCC would have been getting massive amounts of kills.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was ridiculous how much damage he could have dished out.
The side of Secret looks like he wants to counter it. He's already grabbed the hook. We're not going to see a blink rut. Not for the mechanism either, which is frequently the pickup for Tidehunters as they do relocate here on the bottom lane. Ball in onto KP, but it's pretty long time to go. Can they get the quick kill on the Timber? So he's still baby, kept alive. Kaka looking at the silence on the mid. Slurpee gave the refs too late. Down goes the Storm Spirit, and now following up that pure damage, just completely chewing through the Tidehunter. He looks to retreat, the arrow comes up the path, that chain through, and it's Kaka nuking him down. They now pursue P leap. Available for some time. He might just be able to phase his way out of the P. Blinking back to the out. Still as Triple C in pursuit. They want to go further for this one. And in the end, he will give up the chase. In fact, P threatening to go back in, though. I think he really wants to do that.
They're already in the room, and with no Ravage, Tide, and Storm both down for a little bit longer. Could just be a straight for Roche claim for Newbee.
You know, when they relocate initiate the fight, Storm really, it doesn't feel like he can be that aggressive with gods.
Yeah, he does too. They tried to predict the chain and locate where he's going to bid chain, but different direction, and it just couldn't quite get the initial kill on Timbers cleanly. Great reaction. Oracle was the player of that fight, though. He reacted so fast with the TP.
Puppey! A lot of trouble. Too much nuke damage. Stand against it. Burn down. Mirana out. The Aghanim Scepter, this devastating timing we saw so often at the last international IO split. The server can't even handle the amount of damage being pumped out by Newbee. So much magic burst, and that note, the Roche, they go. They've brought the big boy down to about a third of his HP, 4F. No Ravage chipping slowly on P, but it's so difficult to go in here. They don't even have tracks of mid one. Oh no! I'm going in, and Secret says, we can help there, buddy. It's not 4F2 mid ball. This one, Secret not on the same page. Not showing the level of team you need to try and take fight around the Roche pit. Mid one out twice. He's dove in on his own without support. Without any real escape plan. You just gotta take your hat off to Unai's gusts have been immaculate.
Yeah, that's where it's all about. It's like as much as pick the Drow counter pick, if you pick the Storm roll in and time the gusts as land, it can completely ruin the Storm's life. And we've seen a couple good ones in a row from Unai and Newbee, possibly in the position to just take every out of time now. They're really strong this ages, and Mirana is about to blink dagger right now if she wants to. So this gets very difficult. If you're someone like a PA, you've only got 1k HP, you just melt to that double Starstorm. You can't fight all that easily. Not to mention the IO behind you can get blinked upon and taken up before the fight even begins.
Puppey, nice job there to give small to the team as he does manage to snipe the dire curve. Wasn't packing heat though, no items on it. And he's still able to spend all their gold here. And you talked about the PA gods and how she can't really stand against this mad damage. We often will see that BKB build though it obviously has its downside. This game can't be tethered to if you pop it prematurely, and of course not the best scaling pick. But he's skipping it. He's really relying on the team to keep him alive in these fights.
It's like it's one of those things where if you BKB for it's like a game losing BKB type pick where you're gonna stay alive, but you're not gonna kill anything.
Oh, he's got though from behind the 3-hero relay, but he slows it down. The Oracle's there to save him. Now they turn on the Pie. They nuke him down. Face there to secure the kill on Pylai. Now that Unite they do. But at what cost? MP might be in trouble here. Is he gonna have an escape route? KP can hunt him. There's the Timber Chain forward and going to work with the Whirling Death. Another Chakram follow-up. MP slow. Oh, so dead. Another great gust under pressure by Unite.
Yes, I mean for MP himself, he's like, well, I killed the Drow for own life. It's kind of worth it for him because they're playing from behind at this stage, and you slow down the push and the Aegis duration by just taking that fight. So it's on a that fight in itself wasn't too bad for Script. It doesn't advance, but it definitely wastes Newbee's time having to kill him, and then they lose the Drow. They're not really getting value out of their Aegis, but the state of this game is still very much one where Secret are under a huge amount of pressure to win a big fight, using Ravage, getting some gold. It will have Pipe for the next fight, so that is going to help quite a bit against that Mirana AoE damage.
Is it time for Secret 0.0?
It could be. Yep. Let's open qualifiers again, LD. Let's do it.
Pylai die now, trapped out in the river, and you are an IO who's behind again. Not a big guy. You will be dying a lot as the game progresses. But pretty much at this point, he is the sacrificial lamb. Hopefully, he can crit a bit of bait elsewhere. They will shift in on mid lane here. It looks like Secret are gonna resort to just spreading the map and putting that head-on engage. Do you think I have time to pull this off? Because it kind of feels like Newbee is just gonna keep on pushing straight to the high ground.
They'll have to defend their high ground, and the thing is, Secret heroes don't really split push outside of the storm, and they've itemized for teamfight. They have mech and pipe. If you can't teamfight now when you just got mech and pipe, then what's your draft meant to do? So they have to teamfight. That's what their draft is built for right now. But the problem is the Aegis, which is really like a way out.
Dude, confidence siege here. They have S3C out in front. Already has grabbed the scepter, and Aegis bear. Good, he dropped. Newbee can converge around him, even blinks in for that Starfall. Bold maneuver, gonna bait out big spells here. All notice, has completed the pipe. So activated, not really getting the visual on my screen, there you go. But seeing the pipe being used, Newbee gonna stagger a retreat here. Arrow passing right through for it, but did it actually connect? S3C confidently out front. That's complete.
Now, so you can't really do much damage without mana. So yeah, you have the Aegis, but your first life isn't that valuable. Okay, one Starstorm, that's not bad. He's kind of depleted, it's costing him some.
It's not heavy. I just want to throw the track out, man. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Let's see. Not gonna let the tracks come for free as he continues to push Vault. Newbee confident in their siege potential here, but Secret do have the Ravage. They do have the Desolator picked up now on the PA. The Ravage goes. It connects on the entire team. For in fast, and KP just wants to read the Oracle, looking to come live. A complete lag fest. But there's the top. KP still surviving. They lost the Oracle. That's the first real for the fight for KP. Survive. The Noble sacrifice. The Ravage comes on Oracle for a Ravage. You could just wait for this Oracle respawn. And maybe the hesitant. It kind of feels like we can go in now. Arrow crashing in. Almost connecting Puppey there.
Yeah, I think Newbee without the Oracle, that's their sustain and heal. I mean, it's their save as well. So getting too aggressive without Oracle alive is a bit tricky for them. So I think backing off, regrouping, maintaining map control stage is fine for them. They've got a couple new items coming out soon with the Drow Ranger, having the Shadow Blade, the Mirana can be looking at picking up an eBay sometime in the next 4 minutes. So Newbee are in no rush. Their lineup does scale very well. It's not like you lose the late game. Considering the PA's slight lack of farm, you're in a pretty strong position until MP has a BKB.
Oh, moving in the mid lane, mid one, and does have the Bloodstone picked up to 14 chargers now. Decently well as far, but the Moonlight Shadow will be pressing in, looking for that quick to start the fight. He knows he's the top healer's way out of there. 3C has eyes only for Pi. Now KD looks for right in mid one again. Moth gods.
The short respawn though, so that's I mean it hurts because it's his Bloodstone, but the good news is you're not going to get Raxed.
does buy some infused raindrops now. The damage is done as Zuna brings down the tower. Up 50 seconds. NewBee can press this advantage, looking for the pickoff. The arrow comes through again. Secret will sidestep that. Blitz assault. There's a link in a start on a leap out. Secret. Their hero to about half HP on the back of that. Very little commitment by NewBee.
Still no rabbit.
Actually can focus on objective stuns there on one. The forward chakra again with guts, and again a storm drops. The silences are so well coordinated. NewBee continuing to pick off, forcing out IO buyback. The storm still down for 10 seconds. S3C in again. He needs that Oracle save. Ghostbusters there together with Fate. They're gonna force out another. Oh, sorry, that was the buyback. IO buyback still now. Like on the run, trying to make his way out. S3C again. He just but MP survives through the pitches. KP great right on her. Mid one completely YOLO in. No backspin sight. No relocate. Very short range, underwhelming the jump out of there, but SPC also low on mana. Will not continue pursuit. Kaka, GP out, and he's out of there. A dagger crossing over NewBee here to their side of the map. They are trading some kills here, guys, but the bounty hunter dying early. There are buybacks inside of Sweden. They're not winning these fights.
They help. They didn't get all many back kills. They get another drow kill. It's 4 deaths on drow. It's not bad. They're really just committing a lot to kill the drow, and more recently the Oracle. Every time they're engaging, they're like ignoring all heroes except Oracle, and then after Oracle's dead, they'll focus other targets, which you kind of have to do. Problem is, Faith just with all the tower gold has a Ghost Scepter, so when IOPA relocate on top of Faith's. He's just like, sweet, I'll pop my Ghost Scepter, good luck killing me anytime fast. And he can even Fate's Edict the people, and there's no right-clicks coming out. So it's very difficult to beat the best.
Committed, they really want the kills, they will committedly bringing down the S3Cs tried to go in counter, and KP arrives, looking to make something more out of it. The Oracle save again on point, keeping SC alive. He will blink out, but in the end will end up falling. Zeke had the critical damage they brought through. They're looking for the daggers there, chasing forward. Can U9 save the day? The Gust only getting 2, and they surround KP. I believe half the blood, and I even push Echo by the Hurricane Pike, but nothing. And Decred able to gun it. They've gotten 4 gods, and just like that.
Yep.
Power of the bounty hunter, Puppey up that initial gank, and NewBee committing way too much to try and turn it.
That's one of those fights where you're NewBee, you look back and you're like, it was a very simple play we made, and that was just letting our Ogre die to a 4-man gank with relocate, and then you lose just an Ogre Magi. Sure, it's trackable. Yes, but instead Mirana goes in. Then it turns into this snowball domino effect where one person tries to save one and he gets in trouble. Then another person tries to save the Mirana, and then in the end, you've lost your entire team almost, and Secret have a 6,000 gold swing going in their favor because it's track mode. So it's a complete disaster of a fucking NewBee. They can settle down, take Roshan, and still close out this game, but really Secret a huge boost of gold. Some mid one's almost completing the knockout, and things aren't looking so bad.
It was like half one fight now. Yeah. And even a bit more. They are gonna chasing out an illusion here. NewBee be going back to the pit. Now remember, last time they pushed mid, they did bring down the tier 3 tower. The next time they try to go high ground, they in now a level 2 trek. Even a plate mail picked up on 4F, and perhaps most importantly, MP is dangerously close to a BK. Solutions for a BKPA this game got. They don't have an MKB on the right-click hero. The Hurricane takes the lead Ghost Scepter. Maybe try and kite this thing out, but they can't really kill a PA.
Yeah. They have no force staffs as well, help push people back to safety. If they're fast, they might try and beat the Ravage cooldown, but 5 seconds, they'll look like Ravage will be back up for 4F before this fight breaks out, so this is going to be a really strong hold from Secret. The biggest thing probably is that BKB you mentioned. It looks like MP, if he stays top, could try to get to 2 tower, but NewBee perhaps recognizing that not to beat the Ravage cooldown, they're just going to push out the lanes from another item to get the Ethereal Blade on Mirana. That's an item that will help against the PA, using it to save a teammate more so than actually actively on the PA herself, since you can BKB it off, but it is a handy item for SCC.
Of course, if the game goes late enough, then this BKB will be a relatively short duration, and that's when it could hit a new power curve of our own. Hopefully the stage for Orchid are very strong. The Orchid, as you mentioned, nearly complete. Moment of pause, appropriately. It's been a while since
Not in a
we
team
had a
fight,
good
though.
old puppy pause.
No, that's, you know, a new Dota season, but it's still the same old puppy.
Yeah, not the same Maurice gods here. All out on it.
Yeah, he's casting the wrong games today.
Ben has been playing a lot of World of Warcraft. He has been raiding a storm. I haven't seen a better part of 2 weeks.
The only happy about with their World of Warcraft is that they named their guild Iron Talon. I thought that was the one redeemable factor about them playing World of Warcraft.
No, they already dead, so they can pretend they're playing Dota.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. You're all farming in the jungle.
I just need a little more time with Iron Talon today.
Yep. PvEing, you know, it's like it's different to going to Dota game and just taking it to the next level, I guess, playing World of Warcraft.
But on a serious note, of course, guys, Merlin will be back. He'll be doing some testing for this. We're also OD Pixel, Dress, and even the legendary Yeik Pixel guys. Doing a lot of commentary here for MDL over the next couple days. Now, of course, their game going on. Group A is GSL Group. There are 4 teams, and we do have MVP Phoenix taking on LGD FY, and that is, of course, super young, not FY God in the name. They're anything but young, though, I have to say, as we will see Puppey get obliterated by freshly Dusty Blade.
That's also going to force a buyback here. They push immediately, which not the biggest buyback, but it does prevent him getting a full stop. And if you're Newbee, you're thinking, well, pushing without track is actually pretty handy for us.
There's the BKB, and the buyback instantly there from Puppey. He knows a good fight with this BKB could be absolutely devastating. Rack up 4 or 5 track kills, and it is not easy to run from the secret lineup. They have so much mobility, courtesy of the Bounty Hunter. With the speed boost, the boost as well, the chasing potential of a storm, the air move speed, and the dagger. So Newbee, having seen this cold feet, they are going to slow things down, look for a better opportunity to move in.
It is kind of Newbee's time to start planning a bit more for the late game. Pushing high ground, even with an Aegis, is very difficult. They'll see some of these, they'll see the BKB now, they see the Orchid, and they're probably thinking like, oh, we can't actually fight into these items. If we get Blink, well, I guess there's no Blink on Tide. I want to say he might go for the Blink. He's picked up a Plate Mail, but having a Blink Insta-Ravage that you can follow up with the Storm PA is very strong right now. So Newbee have to be just, considering late game, getting a BKB on the Drow Ranger, building into that Aghanim Scepter. They can't just... They can't probably see themselves going high ground even with an Aegis now.
It doesn't feel like a win the game right now type of lineup, given the hero mechanics and matchup. Do you feel either team has the better, like, late game gods, talking like 50, 60 minutes plus? Should it go that long, or is it still pretty even at that point for you?
I give Secret the edge, just the mobility of heroes like Storm Spirit and Io. And then Tidehunter having Ravage in the late game is just always insane as well.
Puppey. Normally you wouldn't care too much about losing a Bounty Hunter, but he fought back. If they can bring him down, he's dead for a minute. Would be enough time to go down mid. Even if Secret takes the fight, they won't benefit from the track gold. It's not the death matters, it's more the absence of the Bounty Hunter at this next fight.
And mid one tried to snipe the creep wave that was coming, but he missed it with the ball TP, so if he hit that creep wave, he would have stalled this.
Mid one has TP'd back home, and Newbee pushing forward now, confident that there is a large margin for error. 30 seconds and counting. There is still a glyph available, so they've got to start to work on this Rax rather quickly. The Drow Ranger sitting very far back. It's a slow going here, relatively speaking, from S3C. Glyph available. They're biding their time. Secret, very patient here. Up against the siege as S3C just blinks a little bit over to the side and continues to work on the buildings. They will bring down the melee now, thinking about sticking around for the range, but this is time to strike this mid one straight on in, popping that Aegis quickly. Forev hanging onto the Ravage for now, just trying to zone them back and go for round number 2. He hasn't committed it yet, and they go with the pipe. A quick crit there on KP to bring him down low. They might just sacrifice to let the rest of the team get out. The Oracle is there, can save the day. He will pop the ultimate to keep KP alive, and now KP backing off again, but the track forward, he chains up the cliff. They might just have to let him go. The Timbersaw committing the Shiva's Guard, gets healed up a bit further as the Oracle ult wears off, attempts to chain away, but it's a short, underwhelming hop for him. Meanwhile, Ogre getting cleaned up, the BKB committed by MP, and S3C off the other direction, leaping up to the left, looking for the retreat. So when the dust settles, is a total of 3 heroes going down for Team Newbie, but they got a lane of Rex Gods, and only one of those was the track kill, maybe 2.
Yeah, I believe just 1. That was, I think overall Newbie are fine with that. They didn't lose any of their really key heroes. The Timbersaw just lost some Bloodstone charges, but taking a Rax with the age, they weren't expecting to get that Rax, so SCCC.
Oh my god,
That's
the chasing, the closing potential of this secret lineup is enormous. All of that set up by a nice observer ward here towards the top side of the map. So Marana down, make it 4 heroes, and that one was a track kill.
Yeah,
Suddenly, a relatively even trade mid, even a Newbie victory, equalized a bit of that particular kill.
They really needs a Lotus Orb at this stage. Get rid of the track, get rid of the Orchid. The Shivers is nice, and I don't think there's anything wrong with getting it, but it's just more like how much farm are you getting in that offlane? And right now, it's just not quite enough to hit all the key items that his team need.
Phantom Assassin sitting a bit behind here on farm, but all things considered, to be up against the Marana with Ags and Drow Ranger and only down 1,000 gold, Storm in closing distance. They're in relatively good shape here when it comes to net worth and access to late game.
Yeah, they're not worried about losing 1 melee Rax. You're kind of at that stage where one lane of Rax is not at all game changing. So.
And there's the ball in onto KP again. It's Fade trying to save the day, but the Ravage comes through, connects on 3. U9 getting caught. He tries the Hurricane Pike out, but just gets obliterated as the BKB crit combo cleans up Kaka, and mid one dives deeper, looking for Fade, going for the TP out. There is a pull. 1 second. Can he get it? No, but he gets KP instead. A sweeter treat, perhaps, as he drops as well. 3 have fallen. 3C just backing away. And what was once a 12,000 gold lead at 25 minutes, it's about to be a secret game if this keeps up, Gods, at 33.
Definitely going to be a secret lead after that. Those track kills in these towers, so Newbie likely to either force buybacks out or lose a Rax here. If Secret really want to push for this, they need to be a little bit careful without Ravage, but Newbie just don't have much firepower right now, at least not until Timber and Drow respawn.
Only the Drow buyback available. Meanwhile, Secret have 4 to work with, plus mid one. Balling with 18 Bloodstone charges. We'll see a quick jump in and a even faster leap out by S3C as the melee Rax advantage is immediately equalized now. Suit from KP. Pretty hungry for these kills, but can he find anyone to close the gap on Marana? Heading to the south side. Secret can converge on this. Still no Ravage for 75 though, so they want to be careful about how they engage. But MP has the BKB and he isolates KP. He starts to work on the Oracle there. Instead, it's S3C. They turn back for it now that the Oracle's committed his ultimate. S3C has to get the hell out, but he won't. Explodes in a cloud of blood and PA crits. The chase forward, another takedown. MP out of control. 3. Could be 4 with the ball in. Another set of Bloodstone charges. Put mid one at 22 and put Secret in firm and decisive control of this game. Now, the 10,000 gold advantage is theirs.
It's guaranteed 2 lanes of Rax. They can't get the 3rd because of the tier 2 tower, but that is just a huge swing going their way. Just great aggressive play coming out from mid one, as well as MP on this Storm PA, being able to just dive for kills, chase after. There's such great synergy between these two heroes with the track of Puppey, and Newbee are just getting run over. This is suddenly looking like almost like a guaranteed win for Team Secret after a very... I mean, it's meant to be a bad early game. You're up against a Drow strat. That lineup is meant to start pushing, taking objectives. It's the dire side Drow with Aegis, but Secret, they've held on so incredibly well this game.
They'll back off for that easy ranged Rax in the mid lane. 2 full lanes now caved in. Well, a measly melee was brought down for Newbie. Only 1 lane of Rax remaining. Newbie not ready to throw in the towel just yet. Secret slow things down a bit. They have completed another BKB, this one on the Storm, so long window has finally been slammed shut. No more can you reliably lock down the Storm with the well-placed Gust. For Newbie, they really have no control for this, Gods, barring some sort of immaculate multicast stun into an arrow. You are just not keeping Storm under control.
Yeah, and Newbee's ability to push out lanes is so limited now because you're playing against a team with so much catch with the Storm and the IO relocate. Can't even, like, as a Timbersaw or Marana, go to a lane, push it out because you just get picked off. We've seen it. That's what happened at top and started pretty much the fall of Newbee was SCCC pushing out that top lane, gets relocated or brought down, and then just snowballs out of control from there. So the fact they have this much catch is what's getting Secret back in the game, and Newbee haven't played around the fact that any hero pushing out a lane by himself can get picked off.
Kind of looks like mid one's on a hoverboard here with the perfect world servers in effect. The zippity doodahs down the mid lane. Now a completed Bloodthorn for him. Further amping up the damage that MP can reliably dish out in these fights. No real evasion to worry about here, but doesn't care too much as an Abyssal Blade has now been completed, and this feels like go time, gods. Certainly feels like a good time to calmly walk down mid and slaughter the enemy where they stand. Secret.
This is looking like a near impossible fight to win for Newbee. They've
Zero
got to
buybacks.
somehow, yeah, they want to take out the IO very early on in the fight, but look how tanky Pi is now. He's got a soul booster with the hood. Last fight he got E-Blade, he hardly took any damage because of the hood, but now with this soul booster, he's incredibly tanky and hard to kill.
And there's a cheese, so you can't really count on killing him, and he's almost guaranteed to get that cheese off to save a buddy.
So IO is guaranteed to be able to heal up and boost someone like the PA's damage in the front line, or the Storm, whoever it may be. And who are you actually killing if you're Newbee when you're defending your high ground? Maybe a bounty hunter at best, but Puppey doesn't even care if he goes down at the start of a fight.
Newbee hanging back on their high ground, hoping for a miracle, but it feels like they need 4 or 5 fights at least to bring this gold deficit back. Especially when you consider they're the team that's getting less gold from the lanes here, and they're up against track gold, so they not only have to win those fights, but they have to win them very cleanly to even come close to putting a dent in this massive Secret advantage. And Secret not taking too many risks, gods. 4 heroes sitting top, the lone hero off on his own is Puppey on the bounty hunter, the least important hero at this stage when you have this kind of lead.
He had some info, but it looks like they are ready to push top. They're not rushing it, they know that Aegis will last 5 minutes.
Quick jump in and on to Kaka, they will go. They force out the Oracle just to save an Ogre Magi. That leaves KP virtually defenseless if they can focus him down. He frantically scrambles back, so MP diving in with the BKB, and it's just a quick crit with the Bloodthorn combo. Newbee lose 1. They almost lost a second there. Now with the Oracle on cooldown, anyone who overextends will be jumped with impunity. Secret braining down the tower, another leap forward, and a quick and decisive takedown on U9, forcing the Mirana back. The server can't even keep up with the raw damage being pumped out by Secret as Newbee throw in the towel. What was a very impressive beginning has become a rather depressing end. They end up dropping this game 31-27, but more importantly, down 30,000 gold, down mega creeps in a matter of seconds, and with no chance of comeback.
Yeah.